All right, paying for medical expenses. If you or someone you know has medical expenses, you may want to listen in. According to an analysis by the Kaiser Family Foundation, 1 in 10 adults, that's about 23 million people, are estimated to owe medical debt. If you're seeking ways to pay certain medical expenses, here's what you need to know. Joining us today, of course, is the CPA, Ms. Kimberly Washington herself. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, Cam, how can you save for medical expenses and cut your taxes at the same time?
Right. So one of the things you want to do is look into different accounts. There are 2 different accounts, of course, you want to look into. One is a health savings account, an HSA. You do need a high deductible health plan in order to use that account, but you can get a tax break for tax time. The second one is called a flexible spending account, an FSA. You do need to work for an employee in order to receive it, but can it also cut your taxes? But of course, both of them you can use to actually save as it relates to medical expenses.
Now, Kim, there are changes relating to reporting medical debts on your credit card report. What should people know when it comes to that?
Right. This is a big deal for so many people. So this year, of course, starting in July, medical debt would no longer appear on your credit report. Now, there are a couple of different rules. The first thing you do need to know, if it's paid medical debt, it will no longer appear. The second thing, if it's unpaid, it's going to take a longer time before it reaches your credit report. And last but certainly not least, if it's under $500, of course, it won't be reported at all. So that's big news for so many people.
Now, for someone who may have received a medical bill, looked at it and was like, man, that is high, what options can they explore?
Right. So you want to get in contact with the provider and just ask a couple of questions. Number one, are there payment arrangements that may be available? Are there different programs that maybe you may qualify for? But just ask the question, pick up the phone, contact the provider, and see what programs may be available to you, because there are some that's actually available to you.
That is very important. And finally, is there any financial assistance available to those who may need help paying for medical expenses?
Right. A lot of people don't realize this, but if you have large bills as it relates to your medical expenses, there may be grants out there available to you. I would suggest that you do go to Google and do your research at this time, but there are 2 you may want to look into. The first one is called the Health Well Foundation. It provides financial grants to patients. And the second one is the Patient Access Network Foundation. Both of these are 2 places that you can go and actually get assistance as it relates to your finances and medical debt at this time.
Giving us all the things you need to know when it comes to your finances and saving on your bottom dollar. Kim, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank
now,
you.
let's turn things over to meteorologist